TGC Requiem here. We are playing some Kiki Chord. I actually really like this. We should have Eldritch Evolution into Voice of Resurgence into Renegade Rallier, which is always fun. So we're gonna try this one out. We're on the draw. We're keeping. I'm gonna open on Murmuring Bosk almost certainly. I guess it's somewhat dependent upon what we draw. Like that. So if we can bait out some action here with the birds, makes it a whole lot less likely that the voice is going to stick as well. But when I look at her hand, there's not a whole lot else I want to be ramping into. Yep, we're just going to go ahead and run out the Murmuring Bosk, which tells anybody who knows that we're either playing Tree Folk or more likely Kiki Chord. Opponent is showing Esper. Gonna Serum Visions, hold back the Spell Snare. He's at least trying to present Spell Snare. Thinking we may be playing against Esper tokens. We're just going to play the birds to kind of try and play around a Spell Snare there. Blue-red, so this is probably... Oh, what do we got here? Storm now? Yeah. So we're actually going to go red-green here. We do have the ability... Yes. Okay, so we actually can... Just thinking this through. We can Eldritch Evolution into Eidolon, but he does have the potential to, say, remand a spell. But as it is right now, he is probably in a good position to attempt to go off next turn. He only has 4 cards in hand. It may be difficult. Played 3 lands already. I'm going to just go for this here. If we can resolve an Eidolon of Rhetoric, he does have the remand. Let him rummage a little bit there. So it may have been better to play the voice. So he's going to start going for it. Runs out the Electromancer, so it makes me think he probably doesn't have it this turn. Unless he gets a... Yep, here comes the gifts. Okay, so depending on how he sets this up, he's cast 5 spells already. So if we put the Past in Flames in the graveyard, that's the easy call. But either way, I mean, he has the Grape Shot. We just don't want to give him 2 shots at card draw. So we're actually going to put the Metamorphose and the Past in Flames in the graveyard. He's going to run off his rituals here. But we're hoping that he just kind of whiffs on these Past in Flames, but it's unlikely because he also has access to the Gifts Ungiven here. So he'll run out all his rituals. He's going to Metamorphose. Metamorphose, and then he's going to Serum Visions here. Possibly remand his own Serum Visions. And we can actually just concede here. So, I mean, he absolutely has Serum Visions, which is 17. Grape Shot is 18. He's going to get spells he can cast here, which is 18, 19. And then we'll just F6 so you can see, let him do his thing. And then he presents a lethal Grape Shot turn 4 here. This deck is for real. They talk about the creature for Cheerios, the kind of the duplicate creature there. Baral, Chief of Compliance, has given this deck some serious legs. So we could bring in Surgical Extraction. Slaughter Games is probably too slow. I do think we want to bring in Reclamation Sage. This is because they often run the Madcap Experiment into Platinum Empyrean combo. We definitely want our paths. Fortunately, this is going to prevent one source of Grape Shot damage, so we don't really care about that. Collective Brutality could be good. Chord seems a little slow here. We're not really so worried about Spirit. Scavenging Ooze is good. Solid Pride Mage is another way to handle the, similar to Reclamation Sage and Path, ways to handle a Platinum Empyrean. Eidolon of the Rhetoric is really our key card here, though. We don't need a Fulminator Mage. Actually, we don't need Pia and Kieran. Fulminator Mage is maybe a little bit better. Actually going to pull one Renegade Rallier. And I think one Chord. So we'll be on the play game 2 here. Yeah, I mean this is good. So we can go turn 1 Birds into turn 2 Collective Brutality and still hold up Path Exile, or go Wall of Omens into Path Exile. I think this is actually keepable. I'm actually going to go with Overgrown Tomb here. So I'm actually going to just go with the Wall of Omens here. Wait to see what our opponent does, see if we can make use of the Collective Brutality. Looks like the opponent's going to go for a turn 2 Blood Moon, which really is okay with Birds of Paradise out. Man, I really wish I knew what he had in hand. I think we're just going to plan on running out a Voice of Resurgence here, start to get a clock going. Excuse me. Thinking we collective brutality here. Or not collective brutality here, this creature doesn't die to that. We could collective brutality and path. We could path and fulminator mage, which presents the best clock. So opponent doesn't really have anything going on here. I think I just like sitting on Restoration Angel. Can path our opponent if he tries to play another creature. If he counters the Resto Angel, we're going to get a token which is going to help the clock significantly. Or not. Oh, it was his turn. My bad. My bad. Three, four. What is going on here? Getting some laggage. So waiting to see what our opponent has. Rituals, Manamorphose, and an Electromancer. So we're going to actually take Manamorphose. This is an instant. If we Surgical Extraction the Manamorphose, it makes it really difficult for him to combo out. He probably will cast a Manamorphose in response to us trying to Surgically Extract it. But again, it makes it very hard for him to combo out when he does not have the ability to both draw cards and filter his mana. However, we are getting some serious lag issues right now. I'm worried I'm about to get bounced. There we go. So again, I do expect him to cycle his Manamorphose here. Leaves him with 3 rituals and the Electromancer, which we should be able to handle. Alright, he concedes there. So we're going to be on the draw sideboard game. Don't know that I feel any differently here, though. I mean, like, Wall of Omens is not a great card to some extent. However, it gives us the ability to Eldritch Evolution into an Eidolon Rhetoric. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I really want to take out here. I mean, the Kiki is a little unnecessary, probably. Maybe worth bringing in the Renegade Rallier over that. But it also offers so much value if we somehow get into a grindier matchup where we can recur these Wall of Omens and things like that. So opponent kept Surgical Extraction, Scavenging Ooze. I kind of feel like this is actually a pretty good keep. I don't love... Let's see, we have access to getting... Yeah, I think we're going to keep this. I mean, what we really have going on here is we have the ability to eat their past in flames when they try and put it into the graveyard. I mean, that's really all we're looking at here. Alright, that is excellent. So we are going to open up with a Wood of Foothills. When he tries to rush in the Blood Moon, we can fetch for a forest. So plenty of green mana to try and eat cards out of the graveyard. Which is an anti-flashback measure. Here comes a Madcap. No? He's making his run. So we're hoping we're going to get a chance to eat his Past in Flames when we throw it into the graveyard here. Eat it with the surgical extraction, that is. Okay, so what we're going to do here, he only has 1 red mana. Our hope is he goes to cast one of the rituals using his last red mana, at which point we're going to eat the Past in Flames. So we will throw those. He has the Remand. Allows him to draw another card. We can just recast it. So he has a Desperate, Writ, Spire Bluff, Delta. So we're going to eat the Past in Flames and the Past in Flames. He really doesn't have anything else to do this turn, so he will just hold on to that card. He is running 1 empty, 2 Grape Shot, but he really has to build up, which is going to give us some time. And he did not bring in any of the other stuff, so it's good to know we don't need to hold on to our Reclamation Sage. And are there any creatures? No. All right. Just gonna start filtering, gets rid of the delta. We can use Renegade Rallier here to get another fetch back. Just to kind of ramp us ahead. It's probably the best we're really going to get out of Rallier at this point. But then that allows us to cast a Wall of Omens. Is he going to remand this? Sure is. It's a good tempo play. Restoration Angel, which would be great. So our opponent still hasn't played their Spire Bluff, as far as I can tell. I know they have one, but they had one before. We're not really worried about eating the cards out of his graveyard at this point, just because he has no way to flash them back. One mistake I did make here, I'm just now realizing as we get empty the Warrens, is that I did not bring in Orzhov Pontiff to handle these tokens. So it looks like he's pointing these grape shots here, using a mini grape shot to kill off the Renegade and the Scavenging Ooze. And follows up with the Empty the Warren. So he apparently did play the Spire Bruff. I thought he did not. Okay, so what is the best we can do here? We got access to 6 mana, so we can Resto and Kasali Pride Mage. That gives us a good amount of trading. Reclamation Sage still doesn't really do anything for us at this time. Assuming he's going to bring all the goblins in. So we're going to take 5. We have the ability to try and Chord for Kiki here, to go for the win. The opponent's already played 2 remains. I believe these lists only play 3. So it feels pretty safe to go for it. Just trying to think if there's any lines here that might be more appropriate. We can attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Siege Rhino would not be enough. Eternal Witness doesn't really do anything terribly valuable. I think we're just going to go for the Chord here. If we... thinking we can leave... one green up should hopefully keep us safe. That's 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I think we're good here. Alright, so we got there turn 7. Of course, I'm really terrible at keeping up on all this stuff. Actually, the match status was in fact 2-1. League status puts us at 2-1 and 5-4, so some pretty tight ones. Again, haven't played the deck a ton, so not a master with it, but it gives you a lot of cool lines. Obviously, I'm going to have to improve my speed. A lot of complex decisions, especially when you're playing with, I don't know, I should say a lot of creatures and a lot more interactions. But the fact that you may have, you know, 3 or 4 legitimate lines, when you're Eldritch Evolutioning or courting, etc. And it's a matter of trying to think through those decisions and say, hey, which one's the right one. It's a bit more complex sometimes than say like jamming a Tarmogoyf. So anyway, hopefully you like the deck. Hopefully we can keep this league going pretty well. And I'll again, first 3 matches are going to be tonight here on Wednesday, and I'll probably finish the league up this weekend sometime. So hopefully you enjoyed.